Happy
Hello.
Saturday! And Monica's already here. Happy Saturday.
Happy
Good
Saturday.
morning, good morning, or afternoon, or whatever time of day it is where you live. That's what we're doing. Worldwide.
Yeah, because it could be in Sunday already for some people,
exactly.
right?
Our friends
Happy
in
Sunday.
Happy Sunday, friends in Australia. So today's day 5 of our study this week on godly habits, godly wellness. We are putting together all of the pieces in this last day of, we're talking about radical. Wow. Okay. I can't talk today. That's fine.
That's not going to help.
Radical consistency.
You need to be able to talk today.
I know. I'm going to sign language the rest of today's devotional. But today's about radical consistency, which is really the key to everything we've talked about, to all of it. It really ties it together. So that's why I'm so excited that today is about that. But this is day 5. This is our last day of this series. And I'm actually kind of sad because this was a really powerful series.
Well, this was all about action, right?
Really, it was to give you tools.
Yeah.
So I really like that. But before we move forward, I should make sure that you know where the link is in the description for this study. So if you go to the description, you're going to find a link there for the YouVersion Bible app. And what that's going to do is take you to YouVersion, and you can download the app if you haven't already, or if you're on desktop, you won't have to do that. But either way, it will take you to the exact study that we're on, and that way you can follow along with us.
Yeah. And if you don't know us, my name is Javie. This is my wife, Jessica. And
Jessica.
I said your name for you. Man, we got our timing right today. Anyway, so we are with Underdog Ninja Foundation. And the reason why I say it like that, because I've been screwing it up the last couple of days. Okay. But we are with Underdog Ninja Foundation. And here at this organization, we believe that there are 3 things to help us fight heart disease. And that is faith, character, and action.
Yep.
We're here every Tuesday through Saturday morning talking about that faith piece, working towards building our faith and getting closer to God. And we have these discussions every morning around a devotional that is focused on the things that we have to deal with day to day.
Yeah.
This week, we've been talking about that action piece, things that yes, it talks about our faith and has to do a lot with our character. But this week we've been talking a lot about action. What things do we have to do to make certain things happen in our life? We've been taking notes, and we've been studying or getting down deep into what is really going on, and being honest with ourselves in order for us to move forward.
Absolutely.
Right?
Hey, Annie's here. Good morning, Annie. Good morning, beautiful souls. I love how you always say beautiful souls. It's my favorite. I think it's fantastic. I'm so excited to hear you say it. So are you ready to get going? Anything else you got? Okay.
There was something, but it's gone now.
It's gone. Isn't that the way? I don't know. It's gone now.
This is the way.
This is the way. So many conversations we have where we go, oh, I was going to say something, but I don't know what it was. So it's gone now.
Yep.
Things enter and leave my head faster than ever before.
So I do want to just clarify.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Clarify something though. You're hearing me change what we're saying here from Underdog Ninja to Underdog Ninja Foundation.
Right.
Because we are really a foundation. We are a nonprofit. The Underdog Ninja Foundation is a nonprofit.
And this broadcast is part of that nonprofit. These discussions, these studies are specifically devoted to heart disease, to our nonprofit. And so this is something that we do for our nonprofit. And that's why we want to make sure we clarify that this one element is part of that right. Cause.
Right. But later on today, we are launching a new show.
Yes.
After
podcast.
This.
Yeah.
And that is talking about that show is going to be more focused on people that have that underdog that's within them, no matter what they're facing in life.
Right.
There are a lot of things, a lot of chronic diseases, a lot of things in life that we have to battle. And what I've found through this journey in heart disease, that I have some commonality with other underdogs, other people out there
Right.
that are fighting incredible odds. And what is it about their story? What is it about their underdog spirit? How did they extract that underdog that was in them? Many times, you hear everybody loves an underdog. Why? Because everybody has that in them, this fighter. But many of us don't know how to unlock it. We allow life circumstances to overwhelm us. And so we don't take that step forward. So when we see someone step up and step out and be that underdog and overcome incredible odds, we're cheering them on. Yep. We're like, we want to be that person.
Yes.
So this show that is going to go on later on today,
right after this, actually,
is going to highlight that.
Yep.
We are going to bring tools and value to you, to give you tangible tools to extract that. Also bringing other people on board to tell stories, to inspire you, to motivate you, and other experts and professionals that will also give you those tools.
For the first couple of weeks, we'll be getting our feet under us. It'll just be us. But, and I think in week 3, episode 3, I say episode, we'll start interviewing people, and we have all kinds of interviews lined up. So this is going to be an amazing show. It's going to be directed at people overcoming these really serious health challenges and what that meant for their life, all different health challenges, and just talking about health and wellness and overcoming. And that will not specifically be focused on heart disease, but because we've had a journey with heart disease, we feel really locked into that community of overcomers. And we've really had a lot of people rally around us that way. And now we've decided that we really feel led to serve the entire community of people overcoming these things. So that's what that's going to be for, while our nonprofit is for, heart disease in particular. And there's going to be a lot of stuff going on with that coming up. So we have a lot of things going on, but that show is going to be at 9 this morning, right after this show. So stay tuned for that.
Good morning, CL, my fellow board member.
Yes. How's my superhero blessings? That's right. Also, Thomas says, I love that shirt. Yeah. This is one of his Christmas gifts, but I love that shirt too.
It's my favorite.
I love it. Okay. Are you ready now?
Now I'm ready.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
You always got something else to say, so I wanted to make sure I always.
I have to get my words in when I can.
That argument's getting smaller and smaller as you talk more and more.
I don't know. I have video evidence.
All right.
See, that was my true motivation.
That was your true motivation. Okay. Video evidence. All right. So today is day 5, the power of radical consistency. Every time I see the word radical, I go right back to my younger days when it was radical, man. You older people know what I'm talking about. Younger, older. All right. So this says, I didn't realize the full impact of my habits until my neighbor, a fellow missionary, informed me that I made her late for work the other day. My habit is to hit the gym every morning at 8 o'clock. Her habit is to sit in the kitchen chatting with her roommates until they hear the sound of my car. That signifies that they have about 20 minutes until they have to leave. Have you ever considered how your habits impact or influence other people? Radical consistency is a characteristic of God. He is a faithful day in, day out, and his standards will never change. Our ability to form keystone habits comes from him. A keystone habit is one that sets all other habits in motion. Is there one habit that we need to nurture to set off all the others in place? Standing firm in God is a great place to start. We have the ability to be resolute in our convictions because we're empowered by the Holy Spirit. However, if our goals are not based on the foundation of our calling, then our likelihood of reaching them is diminished. Our time with God in prayer, fitness routine, food choices, and our habits make up the trajectory of our path. Coming into full alignment with God's plan helps us determine what habits need to be put in place. Repeated time in the Word helps us to grow in wisdom, understanding, and power. Repeated actions propel us toward the goals that we set based on the calling that we've received from God. So pray, sweat, eat, repeat. Living according to this rhythm, we discover God's godly habits that can bring peace to our hearts and order to our hectic schedules. As we work towards our fitness goals, let us use the words of Jimmy Pina as our guide. He states that the best moment your body will ever experience is when the glory of his grace is on display. As we harness the power found in our habits, we'll become irresistible reflections of his grace in action. Grace in action. We'll be able to stand and continue to stand, and will win in all aspects of life through him. So today's assignment is to write down at least one goal for each area: spiritual, physical, and emotional. Spend time in prayerful consideration of each goal, and look at your current habits and assess what to keep and what to change in order to reach your goals. This is really good today.
I love that assignment.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so where did it go? Oh, there we go. Oh, there's no verse today. Okay.
No verse?
No, that's weird.
That's weird.
So I love what it says about how it impacts other people's lives and how our consistency comes from God. We were just talking about this yesterday, about there has to be some habits daily that are your non-negotiables. I feel like now, especially, it's been confirmed after reading that was from God. There has to be some things that you do every single day. You don't need to do everything every single day. And please don't make it be 25 things that you do every day. So that way you have no room for anything else. It needs to be those things that you can't do every other day. You can't do once a week. You have to do them every day. Working out or eating right or prayer or reading in your Bible or certain habits that you have that have to occur every single day. You got to make time for those and then work your life around that. And that's how it should work. It should be, that's why God asks us to give, like in our tithe, for example, is the first 10%, right? The first, just like our time is our first in the morning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's like, give me, or yourself, right? Give the first of what's most important. Then you never have to worry about trying to come up with it later.
Right.
You're done. You get that thing done and out of the way, and it's first. And I think that that's really important with those non-negotiable, things, the habits that you need to get done. I was going to say topics, but that's not right. The activities. That's what I'm thinking of. Those non-negotiable activities, those things that you have to do, those tasks.
Well, one of the things that we had to start doing is getting our reading time, getting getting close to God and reading the Word. And our life is really busy, and we were finding ourselves. It was very difficult to have time to really do that. Of course, we would do it during this time, but I'm talking about just getting down to seeing what really hit line by line. What does his word say? Studying it, understanding the whole context of what is happening in a particular chapter or a particular book in the Bible, just to understand the stories and understand what God is saying and applying it to our lives. We weren't getting that time. So what we did, and again, bringing in consistency every morning, we would get up and we would have some time to drink our coffee or whatever before we start here in the morning. And we were just finding ourselves doing really nothing.
Just scrolling Facebook or whatever.
And just kind of maybe catching up with what happened overnight or whatever. I would be watching, look at the news, which is the worst thing to do in the first thing in the morning.
Don't watch the news.
Right. And the best thing I found is getting into a word. So we've been incorporating that.
Yeah. And it has been a game changer.
Oh, yeah. It has put us in better moods. It has put us in a better perspective.
It makes me stronger for the rest of the day to deal with everything.
Right. There's times that we've been really stressed out, and really God speaks to us first thing in the morning to kind of encourage us and to put us on the right footing.
Right.
And that lasts all day long. That really gives us a better perspective. Again, being consistent. And what I love about that assignment, where you're focusing on these aspects, you're focusing on your spiritual aspect. I know I keep hitting.
You're hitting the table.
I know.
He
I'm very
talks with his
passionate.
hands.
Can you bring up the assignment real quick?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
spiritual aspect, it was your health.
Yeah,
It was
so
a
spiritual,
physical, emotional. Okay.
spiritual, physical, and emotional.
Exactly.
Yeah, and actually, I was going to say, I heard Brendan Burchard the other day talking about one of the habits that he has. This is so great. It's such a great example. It's just one way to do it, but it's such a great example. He was talking about how once a month he has a whole list of things he wants to accomplish. Like, these are all my goals. These are all parts of my life, all the different areas of my life. I've got goals. Okay, so what he does once a month is chooses one from his business goals and one from his personal goals, just one, and then he measures it every Sunday. So he, you know what I'm saying? He okay, where am I at? So the goal, and he breaks it down week by week and then says, did I make my weekly goal? Just simple stuff. Like, he goes, I'm always growing that way. I'm always moving forward, always growing. And it makes consistency happen because I'm doing it on such a regular basis with small bites instead of huge bites that, and those goals can line up, by the way, those goals that you have on your big list of forever goals can line up with the bigger goals. So that's an easy way to reverse engineer those, because you're breaking them down backwards is reverse engineering, breaking them down backwards to get closer and closer and closer to yourself and go, okay, in the next week, what am I going to do? In the next month, what do I want to do? And then you can just tackle one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but this is great because it's talking about spiritual, physical, and emotional. We forget to have spiritual goals.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, physical goals we all have, emotional maybe, financial definitely, but spiritual, we never go, oh, you know what? I want to get closer with God. Well, then what would I need to do that? What would I need to start incorporating into my life? What actions would I need to take?
Identifying where your relationship with God is lacking. Just like your relationship, you're working on your relationship with your spouse. Where are the weak points? Where are the strong points, right? And those weak points, identify those weak points, and then, okay, what do I need to do to improve on those? We lack that with our relationship with God. Well, God knows everything, but we don't.
Right.
Right. So oftentimes it's this lopsided relationship. It's probably going to be that way until we're with it, because we're always learning. We're always trying to grow in Him. We're not perfect, right? But so what this is really pointing out is what are those spiritual things I could be doing more of? Those things that will help my relationship with God. Are there things in my life that I'm not willing to let go of, that I know that's getting in the way of that relationship? Is there something that I need to correct? Maybe it's my attitude. Maybe it's how I approach people. Maybe I need to be more loving. Maybe I need to be more forgiving. Maybe I need to be more gracious.
Maybe.
Right? What do they say? Gracious in action. Maybe that's a big word.
Grace in action. Grace in action. Something that just popped into my head, though, and I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but it just popped into my head, is maybe you need to be a person who even creates goals at all. Maybe you're just like, okay, guys, I don't have goals. I used to be this person when I was younger. I didn't understand setting goals. I just lived my life. Like, I didn't understand, like, being ambitious, like trying to achieve something. I don't know what you mean. Like, and so maybe you're not the kind of person that has plans for your life. Maybe you're not the kind of person that has goals. And all this goals talk and setting goals and, and breaking them down, all this stuff is just foreign language to you. God really wants to help you grow, and He wants to help you move forward to become the person you really, really want to be and get the life you want to be, or life you want to have. And here's the thing is, it doesn't mean you're terrible right now. A lot of people say, well, I didn't know I needed to change. No, it doesn't mean you're bad. It means that's what we're supposed to do with God, is grow forward, is learn. Look, if that wasn't the plan, our kids would never grow up. I mean, they wouldn't learn to do anything new. They would be good to go when they got out. Like, well, I'm an infant, so this is what I'll be forever. No, of course not. They have to continue growing.
Well, excuse me. A lot of us approach life, well, some of us, that maybe you're not goal driven, or you've never really thought of life that way. Life kind of happens to you, right? And you just go about your day. You go about your life. Well, how is that working for you? Think about a child, just like you brought up. Think about a child that everything's done for them. Life just happens. Yeah. The parents do everything. doesn't really have to think about it. And I'm picturing a kid in my mind that's just always in a game. Always in a game.
You've seen these kids.
Okay, when's dinner?
Where's my clothes?
Where's my clothes?
Show me
what are we doing today?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be there. All right, but they're never engaging. They're just doing their thing, and life is happening around them. I mean, the world could come down around them, they wouldn't even know.
Right.
But everything is done for them. You tell me, how successful do you think that child will be when they grow up? They're dependent, aren't they?
Totally dependent, yeah. And while we're supposed to be totally dependent on God, that doesn't mean we're supposed to be stagnant. That child is stagnant.
Yes, but we become dependent on the world. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's a good point.
And then, okay, we're fighting this disease, right? Mm-hmm. We're trying to prevent this disease. When this happens,
oh yeah,
what do we do?
Yeah.
We don't know what to do. Well, because now stagnant. Life has thrown something at us that it's happened to us. Okay. I've lived my whole life with life just happening to me.
Right.
Well, now this is thrown at me. That means it's over.
Well, and I've seen things. So I was actually initially talking to the person who just has never been that person, but there's also something, no, that's not according to what you said, but I was just thinking there's two different kinds of people going on here. So there's the people that just, you've never really been, you're like, I don't understand what you mean by goal driven. Like I want to change, but how do I set goals? I'm just not that person who's always looking to like achieve something, the next thing. But God's not looking for like high achieving, goal driven. That's not what he's talking about. It's wanting to grow, wanting to move forward with God, becoming the person he wants you to become, and learning new things and seeking him and finding new things within yourself and learning about him so that you can do new things for God. Okay. But what about when heart disease hits and two different things happen? You either, I've got a second chance. I'm going to go take on the world because I don't know how much time I have left and I want to do everything now. Or the person that went, regardless of who they were before, regardless of whether they were driven or not, or goal oriented or not. There's also the other person that goes, I can't even make plans now. I don't know what my life is like now. I don't know what's going to happen. I could die. I could not. What am I even able to do? Why make plans? I don't know. I don't know how much life I have left. So how am I supposed to plan for the future when I don't even know if that future is going to happen? So two different reactions take place.
Yes.
There's like the I'm doing it now. I'm living life. I'm going to make the most of every single moment because I don't know how much time I have left. I don't know how much time I have left, so I can't make plans. So one of two of those things happen. And there is the anomaly in the middle where nothing happens and the person just sort of gets stuck and just sinks into a hole because they just are in shock and they stay in shock. Mm-hmm. So there's none of that thought process going on at all. They're just in shock. And so they sort of freeze and they're paralyzed in their fear and pain. But
they sink because of gravity. Because
of gravity.
Because of the gravity of the situation.
But, so put the person aside that's like going to hit life with, all fists and take it on. So not talking to you because obviously you're going for it, but everybody else needs to hear, that goals matter. You got to have something. Think about it. You get up in the morning and it's not always like a measurable goal, like 10 pounds. Like, it's not like you have to check a list. But it should always be forward. That 1% better we talk about every day, that's called consistency. 1% every day. And that's the other thing I wanted to jump into is what does consistency mean? Consistency doesn't mean doing all the things all the time. It doesn't mean like, I've got to tackle everything I've ever needed to do and I got to do it every day. And if I don't, I'm not being consistent. No, you need to be realistic and sustainable. Mm-hmm. So you need to do what you can do every day and leave room for life to happen and all the things that happen. So what can you accomplish every day in small bites that can happen every day? A 30-minute workout, a walk for 30 minutes, something that you can fit into any day, no matter what happens. What about, the 1 hour extra of meal prep on the weekend or an evening or whatever. And now you've got a little bit of time the rest of the week because you've prepared some of this food. You've made some sauces. You've chopped some vegetables, like whatever little things, maybe each week you take on one new task that you can start doing consistently in your non-negotiables.
Yeah.
That's consistency. Yeah. I think we miss as humans that it builds on itself. The Compound Effect is a really good book. It's called The Compound Effect. And I can't remember off the top of my head who it's by. But it's an amazing book that talks about, it's all about consistency and how it compounds. We know
I bet
that
you Thomas knows if he's
Thomas
still...
does. Yeah. Who knows who wrote The Compound Effect? But anyway, it's just like with money. We talk about saving your money all the time. There's an app called Acorn. Acorn is an app that is an investment app, like people that don't invest their money like in
the
stock market. But it literally like takes it rounds up all your purchases and invests the change. And like, why would I do that? It's pennies, right? But it adds up. Talk about Mary Poppins when the guy says you invested your top-ins like a billion years ago. You invested your top-ins, and now you can buy a house. He didn't even realize it. But the thing is that it compounds. Our actions do the same thing. I've talked about this 100 times. When you're walking up the mountain, one step is the same as 25 steps. It just takes longer. You eventually make it up. Like you keep heading in that direction, you're going to reach the top. There's no question whether you're going to reach the top. You will, because you're always moving towards that direction.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on how fast. Now, here's the thing. People go, well, I want to get there faster, wouldn't I? Yes, but could you get there faster and sustain that? So can we do 25 steps a day? Can we? Because what happens is now you're doing 25 steps today, and then nothing tomorrow, and then nothing the next day. And then so you end up doing the same amount of work and stressing yourself out and taking the same amount of time and trying to shove things into one day and then missing it completely and then having to start over and then falling backwards, because when you stop moving on a mountain, you slide. All of that takes place instead of just doing one step and then one step and then one step. And if you're always moving, you're never sliding backwards. But you can't sustain 25 steps at once. You can only do one step. So that 1% every day. Pick something and do it. Pick something new next week and add that to your list.
And so, I want to also get into with these steps, these spiritual, physical, and emotional things. Where is there something in your life or something that you could be doing consistently, 1%, that will affect all those things being more efficient? One of our friends that is just great example of consistency. He's just an example to me. CL is always, he's just a very consistent individual.
Yep.
With his show, with everything that's going on, he does so much, and he's always going live. He's always giving such good words to inspire and impact people's
very
lives.
Intentional person.
But so he has his show. But he goes beyond that. I watch his lives. He's out walking his dog. Okay. He's spending time with someone, his dog that he loves. It enriches him. Okay. But he's walking him. He needs his exercise. So guess what? CL's getting his exercise.
Right.
But at the same time he's doing that, he's going live. And he's impacting people. Because you know what? The secret is when you're giving freely and adding value to people's lives and helping them, that helps us.
Well, not only does it help you mentally and emotionally and spiritually, but usually it motivates you to keep going.
Yes.
That's what a lot of times consistent. Why do we think accountability works? Because you're accountable to these people now. Now I got to show up to the gym because these people are waiting for me. Right. Because somebody else is involved, whether it's to be accountable or you're accountable to them because you're impacting their life. People go, well, I keep going. I want you to keep going because you inspire me.
Right.
Now you're like, I inspire you. So now when you want to say no to that activity, you're saying no to inspiring someone. That feels different than saying no to your own fitness, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, it's harder to kind of stomach that. Like, oh, I'm going to let someone, I'm not going to be like the light in someone's day. They're not going to have the light in their day because I want to be lazy, because I am too tired, because it's too hard. Right. That's another motivating factor that can really help you stay accountable when it is easy to say no when it's just you.
Right. But CL, by doing that one action, okay, his walk, he's just walking around his neighborhood. Okay. He's taking care of his the emotional aspect of himself, his physical and his spiritual. And he's doing, and by doing that, he's impacting people's lives. One of the other people, Annie's part of our academy, but Annie, she's just recently been doing these Zoom walks and going live and inviting people to go live. Well, go live with her as she's taking her walk.
Yeah.
She's speaking words of wisdom. She's speaking out of her life. She's just letting people know her story, impacting people's lives. At the same time, getting her walk in, getting her exercise in. It's just a great example. It
keeps me motivated. Yeah. And that's the thing, is you've said that, Annie, it totally keeps you motivated. I want to just share something else Annie said. I think once we start to appreciate the moment that we've been given and stop living in the past, then we can set our goals. That is one of the number one reasons why people don't set goals. They're so focused on the past. They're focused on the way things have always been, and then let that dictate whether the future gets to happen or not, even if the past was yesterday.
Yeah, bring up Monica's thing too.
I pray for that all the time, and for strength and guides every day before I get out of bed. Yes, before you get out of bed, and for him to show me and my kids, grandchildren, and family every day. And she also says that one step helps me every time. I don't stress so much, not beat myself up, and feel bad that I can't do this. It helps my anxiety also. Yes, little bit by little bit. And the thing is that you'll suddenly notice, just like watching your kids grow, you'll suddenly notice a month later that you've come a long way and you didn't even realize it. It's just huge. I mean, that's why do we look at ourselves in the mirror and look for abs after we worked out one time? I mean, what are we doing? But we've all done it. Okay. We've all done it secretly.
I don't do that. You
have so done it. And so you've done it at least joking. Why don't I have abs? And I'm like, right. But it's something that, we really look for like that quick fix, and,
well, it's that microwave society we live in.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that you say microwave society. It's true. Like it's like, boop, I need this now. That's why I want a replicator.
Well, exactly, because the microwave isn't fast enough.
I know. I needed to just, boop. But
because it's too much work to put something in the microwave
and like physically heat. Yeah.
Instead, we need something like,
right.
I want pancakes.
Healthy pancakes. And healthy, all the calories need to be removed.
Exactly.
So anyway, this has been a really, really great week. This is absolutely the key, this consistency piece today. And so we just want to leave you with the assignment one more time. Write down at least one goal for each area of your life: spiritual, physical, and emotional. So going back to Tuesday, we talked about that, writing one thing down. We'll write it down for each of these 3 areas of your life, and then spend some time in prayerful consideration for each goal. You want to make sure you look at your current habits and assess what you can keep and what you need to change in order to reach those goals. And that's one thing I'll say here is one more exercise that you can do when you're writing this stuff down. And we'll probably talk about this later, is the exercise of what you can delegate. So what can someone else be doing that you don't have to do? What you can automate. So what can be automatically done? Maybe it's an app on your phone. Maybe it's something on your computer. Maybe it's just something that's just automated by a machine in your kitchen. I don't know. And what can you eliminate? What needs to be eliminated in order to get out of the way for you to reach that goal? Maybe it's a food. Maybe it's a habit. Maybe it's a place you go. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's whatever. I don't know. So that's a really good exercise to make a list of those things. And then you can it's sort of an audit of your habits, an audit of what you're doing currently. And then we're going to actually talk about that later today.
Yeah.
In our other show.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, because
in about an hour from now, we're going to be going live with our new show.
Yep.
So, hey, but today and this week, if you got something out of this week, I hope that you took these action steps. If you didn't, go back. If you go back on starting from Tuesday, go back through all these steps.
Yep.
Write down these steps and go through these exercises. I truly believe if you go through those exercises and take action, you're going to get something out of it. You're going to grow through it. You're going to get closer to God. You're going to understand and get that clarity that God wants in your life.
Absolutely.
But look, if you've enjoyed this, if you enjoyed today, you enjoyed this week with us, please hit like and share this with others. Share this with your friends and your family, your grocery store clerk, or whoever. All right. Anyway, you guys have a good one.
Yep. And if you're watching this from our YouTube channel, make sure you like and subscribe on that channel. We really appreciate your support. If you want to be notified in the future of our live broadcasts or any content that we post on that channel, make sure that you hit that bell icon so you get notified.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Have
Bye.
a great time. Bye.